Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ice Age. My name is Iceman, and I'm bringing you the last installment of my 3x3 Rubik's Cube tutorial. So, the cube is the same as the last time you saw it. First two layers are completely solved. If you are just coming to this video now, make sure you check out those first two to make sure you understand how I got here, my reasoning for how I solved these first two layers. So what I'm going to do in this video is teach you guys how to finish the cube. Now the top layer is more complicated to do in the sense that a lot of what you did to solve the first two layers, you didn't really care about what happened elsewhere on the cube, like in the top layer. It didn't really matter. All you wanted to do was make sure the bottom layer looked fine. So now the problem with the top layer is that you need to solve this without messing up any of this stuff that you've already done previously. So when you first solve the middle two layers, the first two layers, the top layer here, just looking at it from kind of like a bird's eye view, straight down this way, there will be two different patterns of the blue middle pieces. So ignoring this corner, like it doesn't really matter what color this corner is right now, all we're looking at is the four blue center pieces and then this actual middle piece right here. And so right here you see that this is in a 90-degree angle, and the other option is for it to be straight across, either this way or this way. So these two situations are treated very, very similarly. There's just a set of steps you have to follow, and they're opposite for the different situations. So the ones I'm going to show you here are going to be backwards if you had encountered a situation where it's going across like this. So the way you solve the top, what I'm showing you right now is how to solve all the blue pieces. And when you're done with this, all these side pieces on the top will actually not be correct, probably. But once this is done, it gets pretty easy to solve the side of the top layer. So here you see we have this 90-degree angle. It could be in any of these 90-degree angles situations. And what you want to do is get it so that if you're thinking of like a clock, the two hands would be at 9 and 12. So basically the left side and the top side. And we're not really forgetting that we had it kind of like this before, with the green being the bottom layer and the blue being the top layer. We're just going to rotate it like this so it's easier to see, kind of looking at it a little bit more eagle's eye view, whatever. So you see here 9 and 12. Now the way to do this is to kind of rotate it back up so you're looking at a side of it, not the top. And you want to be looking at the front of the cube. And that is, what I mean by that is, if you're looking at this and it's 9 and 12, just move the cube back to having the blue as the top. And now you're going to be looking at the front of the cube, which is this side. All you want to do is rotate the front of the cube one turn to the right, like this. So now you see that this blue piece is now on the right face, where you can rotate it this way. Now, this is kind of where the difference comes in. So that step is the same whether you have a 90-degree angle or a horizontal line. What you want to do is, this blue piece is supposed to be replacing one of these blue pieces. And so right now you can see that if you rotate this up, it's not actually replacing any blue pieces, it's just adding another blue one. So in order to get it to replace one of these blue pieces, it's really easy to just rotate this top layer once to the right. So now you see that, again, looking at the front, you have this blue piece right here. You see that to move this up onto the top layer, you'd actually be replacing the blue piece that was there before, which is now on that side. So now the reason that you would do that seems a little weird, to kind of replace a blue with another blue, is that now you can rotate the top back to the left and then bring this blue piece back down. And now you've successfully added a blue piece without taking any away. And then you guys will remember that we had, rotated this front piece at the very beginning. So we can just fix that by rotating it back to the left. And just like that, you've done your blue cross. So this is kind of equivalent to what we were doing with the green at the beginning, where we wanted to get the green cross. Right now, we were just looking to get this blue cross. So now, that algorithm I usually remember as saying right top, because all it was I rotated the top. Well, in this case, it was actually top, right, right top is for the horizontal line, because you wouldn't have to rotate it anywhere to get that blue piece already on the side where you could move it up. So in that case, all I had done, because I had this 90-degree angle here, was I rotated the top, then I rotated the right, then I rotated the top back again, and then I rotated the right back again. So I just remember that as top, right, and then you just want to fix the front. And if you had a horizontal line this way, it's the opposite, where it would be right, top, and then you would fix the front. And that would equivalently get you to this exact same situation. So that's how you would do that, without regard to whichever situation you show up when you first get to the top of the blue color. So now that we have the cross, we're looking to finish out the corners just like we did with the green on the bottom. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this, and it basically all is iterations of the same algorithm. And out of sheer experience, I know that if I do this algorithm with this side being the front, it will get me to a place where I can solve these last two pieces. But I'm just going to show you the algorithm here, and so you guys can see what we're looking for. So with this being the front, I'm just going to do kind of an extended version of what I just showed you with the right top stuff. In this case, we're taking right up one, top to the right one, right down one, top to the right one again, right up one, top twice. Actually, it's not once this time. You actually want to turn the top twice, and then you want to bring the right side back down again. So you haven't messed up anything here. All the greens and the first two layers are all still the same. But now you've gotten the top to a situation where it only has one corner piece, and that is key. This is what you're looking for. You don't want to have multiple blue top corner pieces. You just want this one right here. Now the way this works from here is you want to put this in the bottom left corner. If you're looking at it from like an eagle's eye view, put it in the bottom left here, and then rotate it up like I showed you before, so you're looking at the front of the cube. So here's the top. You're going to look at it like this way, and check if either of these two pieces, this white or this red, is blue. Obviously neither of them is blue, so then you go back up here, and now you move this piece to be in the bottom right corner just by rotating the entire cube this way. So now you see that it's in the bottom right corner. Same thing, check this way by rotating it up. Now you see that there's a blue here. That's important because that allows you to then solve the rest of the cube by doing in this case it's going to be left-handed because this piece is on the left face of the cube. Allows you to solve the rest of the top corners here, and it's exactly the same set of moves that I just showed you to get it to this situation, but you're going to be doing it left-handed, so it's a little bit different. So that's left up, then top. This time it's going to be going to the left because you're doing it left-handed. Left back down again. So then again, top to the left once, the left side up once, then again, remember it's top twice this time for the last rotation, twice that way, and then bringing the left back down. And just like that, all the blues are here in the right place. Well, sort of the right place. You can see that these corners aren't lined up, but you do have this entire top blue surface all done, so nice and pretty. So the last thing that we're going to be doing is getting the sides of the top all nice and done, and then we'll be done with the cube, and it'll be awesome. You've solved your first cube. Everything like that. So I know I've said a lot already about how to do this top layer, and there's a lot of iterations, a lot of variations of the moves I've showed. And if you guys have any questions about them or want to see them done, like if I showed it right-handed but you run into a situation where you would have to do it left-handed and you're a little unsure, leave me a comment, send me a message, whatever, and I'll put up another video to relate to those questions, really kind of show you guys how to do all the different situations that come up, because this is just one setup that the cube could be in to solve, so it's just kind of come this way randomly, and if you guys run into something that I haven't showed you guys here, let me know and I'll be able to help you guys out with that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and try to get the rest of the cube solved here with the sides of the top. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video because I do have another kind of complicated algorithm to show you guys to finish this off, and it'll be a little bit longer than the previous two, but hopefully you'll stick all the way through it so we can finish this bad boy. So first thing we're going to do here is to forget the corners for a second, and we're going to be looking at these middle pieces, these four edge middle pieces here with the blues on them. And we want to get them, again like we did with the green, we want them lined up with the appropriate centerpiece. So one thing you'll notice here though is that if you line them up, say you pick one, like this white one right here, and you want to line it up with this white piece over here, and you turn it, the other pieces may or may not actually line up with the appropriate pieces. So we see that the orange one actually lined up nice, but then the reds and the yellows actually didn't line up with the appropriate centerpieces. So there's an algorithm to solve this, and then there's one more algorithm to solve that will get the rest of the corners in the right places. So I'm going to go ahead and show you it's important to do the one for the middles first before you do the corners. But the middle pieces, the way you want to do this is you want to rotate the top layer, remember the top layer is the one with the blue on it, in such a way that you get only one centerpiece here aligned with its proper middle piece here. So in this case we have two, the oranges and the whites are both lined up with their appropriate middles, and two that aren't. So we just want to rotate this top layer in any direction, any number of times, until you get just one lined up. So here we have a yellow that's lined up with its appropriate middle piece, and then none of the other three sides are actually lined up with the appropriate middle piece, and that's exactly what we want. This is the situation we're looking for. So here's that yellow lined up the right way with the blue. So now the way this works is you take this appropriately lined up piece and you put it exactly in the back side of the cube facing away from you, just by rotating the entire cube in your hands, so that this lined up piece back here is now facing like the back wall. It's on the back edge of the cube. So this is just another move that you're going to have to kind of memorize to get working. And the way this works is you take the front face, which is this one right here, remembering that this is the top, this is the bottom, so this one is now the front for you, and you want to turn it twice, basically turn it over. So since you're turning it twice, it doesn't matter which way you do it, you could do it left or right. So you wanted to turn it this way. So now you look at the bottom middle piece, which was the top middle before you rotated it, and see which color that is. So in this case it's orange. Now again you find the corresponding middle piece of that color, which over here, this is the orange piece over here. And you want to then, this is kind of counterintuitive, you would want to think, okay, I want to rotate it this way so that those are lined up. But you don't want to actually rotate that piece. You want to again rotate the top, because that's the layer we're working on, right? We want to be fixing the top layer. So take this top layer, rotate it in the direction of this middle piece that you just found right here, this orange piece, like this, just once, and rotate the whole top layer towards that piece right there. So now you'll see you have this one kind of green strip here and these two blue strips here. Now I like to call this kind of the pillars move, because it looks like two pillars that you bring down onto the front. And the way you do that is you take this left face and bring it down towards you one rotation. So now the green one, the green threesome is here. Then you also want to do the same thing with the right side and take this blue triplet right here and bring it down onto the front just by rotating the right side once. So now you have these two kind of oppositely colored pillars on the front of your cube. Now what you want to do with the pillars is rotate their position, and so just like you did on the first step of this move, you just want to rotate the front of the cube twice in any direction because it's equivalent. So now you've moved the pillars onto opposite sides of the cube. You're going to put them back up onto the top, kind of the opposite of bringing them down like you just did. So you just want to bring the right up one turn, and you want to bring the left side up one turn, just like that. Now you're going to take the top layer and you're going to rotate it in the same direction that you rotated it in the first situation. So in this case, remember I had turned this side to the left because I wanted to rotate it towards the orange. There will be situations where you have to rotate it towards the right, and that's just some other situation that you may run into when you're solving these things. So in this case, taking the top layer, rotating it the same direction I had rotated it before, towards this orange centerpiece, and then fixing what I did at the very first step, which was rotating the front twice, if you guys remember that. So fixing something that's rotated twice is rotating it 2 more times in any direction because they're equivalent. So I rotate the front twice, and just like that you can see that the bottom is all fixed again, the middle 2 layers are all nice and pretty, and the bonus, which we were going for, is that all of these center pieces right here, with these middle pieces on the blue, are now all lined up nice and pretty with the appropriate center pieces on the sides, just like we did with the green layer at the very first video. So now, last thing you'll see that we have to do is to get these pesky 4 corner pieces all in the right places, and this is probably the longest, most complicated algorithm of the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. So again, it's just something you memorize, something you have to practice a lot. You know, pause the video, rewind it, watch it a ton, whatever. Come back later if you get frustrated and watch it again. It's just something you have to practice a lot. But once you do it, it gets pretty easy to do. So the one thing you're looking for is you're going to be looking at the side of the top layer, like you've done in a ton of the moves already, and you're looking for any corner piece which is in the correct place already. So after you've done this kind of center switcher move that we just did, we're looking to see if we also by chance happen to get one of these corner pieces put in the right place as well. So now, looking around the cube, we see that we were not fortunate this time. All 4 of these corners are in the wrong place. But that's kind of good because then this move I can show you right now to help fix the last layer will not matter which side you're looking at when you do it for right now. So if you did have a correct piece, you would want to put it in the bottom left side of the top layer right here. You would want the correct one to be here. And I'll actually show you that because if you have a situation like this where none of them are correct, you do this whole move once and it'll actually solve one of the corners for you. And once you have one, you basically do the whole thing again and it will finish the other 3. So right here, it doesn't matter which face I'm looking at, so I'm just going to pick this one right here. Now the way this works is to kind of rotate it so that the top is looking kind of at you like it's the front. And there's, you know, a ton of different ways to do this move. A lot of people do this by basically rotating the bottom a bunch of times. I do this by rotating the top a bunch of times. And it's a long algorithm, so again, like I said, you know, pause the video, rewind it, whatever. So first thing you do is bring the right side down towards you, one move. Then the next thing you do is you take this face right here and rotate it to the right once, like this. So again, still looking at the blue side, you want to rotate the right face again towards you one more time, so not fixing anything yet. You'll know you did this right once you see some of the green color, basically whatever your bottom layer was on this side. So what we've done so far is right, front, right. Then what you want to do is rotate the back face twice, like this. And this is actually really another handy way you can tell if you've been doing it right. You'll see this kind of walking stick looking figure with the triplet here and then the one more centerpiece. So now you want to start fixing the stuff you've been doing. So you rotate this right side up once, which is opposite of the direction you did it initially. Then you want to rotate this opposite the direction you did initially, which was this way. So now we're going to be rotating it this way. So take the front face, rotate it once more this way. But now before you can go ahead and rotate this back up once, you'll see that didn't actually do anything. It's not correct there. So what you want to do is rotate it back down so that you get your gammas again. Then rotate the back twice to fix what you did before, just like this. And now you'll see you have this nice triplet again, and then you can fix what you did by rotating this one. And you can rotate this twice, and now you see you have this nice pretty, the blue color all done again, the blue side is all completed. The green side is still nice and pretty. Nothing has been messed up about the bottom two layers. And this is again what we're going for. Here you see that one piece has finally been completed. This corner is done. It's in the right place completely. These other three corners are all still incorrect, but that's good because one more iteration of that set of moves I just showed you will solve the cube and we'll be done. So the easiest way to do this is to look at the side of the top layer and find any two corners that have the same color. So in this case, they're both orange. So now if you take this, the side with those two colors to be the front, and then rotate to look at the blue one, and then look for the side that has, this color as the centerpiece, so the orange one, which is this way. So now you know that you want basically this top layer to end up rotating sort of this way so that these guys end up in the right place. So now what you do is you look around again for that correct piece you did here. And so here's the correct corner, and you want to put the two colors that you were looking for, the two corners, in the back face, basically, like this. So now the correct corner is in the bottom right corner of the cube, and these guys are back here, and they're going to be rotating this way towards the orange. So now in this case, we're actually going to be doing the last algorithm that we did, but backwards. So everything that you saw with the right hand before is now going to be with the left hand. So again, we're just going to do this kind of slow, and you guys can stop the video as much as you want and watch it over and over again. So that's going to be left is going to be down. Now this front is actually going to be moving rotated once to the left, and then the left side is going to be rotated down one more time like this. And there's that nice pretty triplet of the bottom layer color that you saw in the last video. Then you want to get that kind of walking stick figure by rotating the back twice like this. You see there. Now we're going to start kind of fixing stuff just like we did before. So rotate this side up once, and then rotate this front back in the opposite direction that we rotated it initially. So it's going to be back this way. Here we have a nice pretty triplet to tell us that we're doing the right thing. But we want to get that walking stick figure back again. So rotate this back down once. Now you see the walking stick here. Then we just have two more moves and we're totally done with the cube. And that's to fix the back layer by rotating it twice this way. And now you see we have this triplet again. And you also see that this is the last layer that has to be changed. Two more rotations on this in any direction. And there you go. Look at that. The cube is 100% completely solved. I know this was a really long video, so if you guys stuck with it, thank you so much. I really hope this has helped you guys, and like I said, if you guys want to see any other parodies, if you guys want to see any other situations that might come up when you're solving the cube, let me know. Leave a comment, send me a message, whatever. Just let me know that you want to see more of this. I can do other sizes of cube if you guys are interested. If you want to see 4x4s or pyramids or whatever else I have sitting around. And I can definitely show you that. So I hope this has helped. And until next time, peace, love, and ice.